Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Average Joe's Eatery. Average Joe's, where we want your experience here to be a happy one. 3501 Trout Lake Road.
And we welcome you inside the Powassan Sportsplex here for what promises to be an exciting game of NOJHL hockey between the Powassan Voodoos and the Timmins Rock. But before we dig too deeply into it, why don't we thank our pregame sponsor, La Herda Imports.
The pregame show is brought to you by La Herda Imports, family owned and operated since 1995. Visit LaHerdaImports.com for more details.
And as we mentioned, it is the Timmins Rock versus the Powassan Voodoos here on this Friday evening, a day of national truth and reconciliation here amongst Canada and Canadians. A relatively new holiday created last year, and a day for solemn reflection and wearing your orange shirt, such as my color man will be tonight here with Mr. Bob Coles. And we're just having a few technical difficulties on that end of things, where he's going to be with us momentarily. But as of right now, he is here. He is in the building. We will get to that. But we'll talk a little bit about the Powassan Voodoos versus Timmins Rock. These are, again, premier matchup here in the NOJHL, as these two teams don't like each other very much, and that's putting it kindly. Of course, a lot of these players that played here weren't here during the heyday of that rivalry in the 1920 season, 2019-2020, I should say, as when you say 1920, it sounds like it was 100 years ago. But anyways, yes, those were some big rival games between the two teams, and the Voodoos coming away with a lot of wins in those games. The only losses coming when their starting goaltender Owen Say was away at the Team Canada East at the World Junior Under-A tournament, which, of course, trainer at the time, J.J. Johnson, was away at as well. But Owen Say with a ridiculous year that year. I think he only lost 4 games the whole season, and none of those were against the Timmins Rock, or if they were, it was maybe one of those games. And again, just waiting for Bob Coles to be able to join us here momentarily. So I might as well give you some context on said rivalry. So the Timmins Rock Powassan Voodoos rivalry goes back many years, and including some playoff rounds as well. In the 2018 season, or the 2018 playoffs, the Rock defeated the Voodoos. They upset the first place Voodoos in 6 games in the opening round of the 2018 playoffs. Ty Gilberts, who was with the Voodoos to start the season, had the series-winning overtime winner on Christian Chichagoy, former battalion prospect in net as well, and just a bit of a dagger. Then the year before, in 2017, the Voodoos swept the Rock in 4 straight in the league semifinals, en route to their first and only title. They actually went through that playoffs round, Bob, perfect 12-0 in the playoffs, which is remarkable. You'll never see something like that again, I don't think, as we welcome you into the broadcast.
So what you're saying is bad blood already in recent history between the Rock and the Voodoos. The Rock looking for their the Rock are trying to end a winless streak of 3 games, dropping games to Blind River and 1 in overtime in Elliott Lake lately, while the Voodoos knew I'd do that at least once tonight.
It's so strange, isn't it?
As they're both playing tonight, and they're both wearing green. The Voodoos with a big win in Espanola. After losing here, they went on the road to Espanola last week, won that game in overtime, and then a low-scoring win in French River, 3-1. So Voodoos first place in the NOJHL East, and really, spreading the offense around this year.
Yep.
And I know Alex Little has got 9 points on the back end. Tucker Shields leads them in goals, and so it's really a balanced attack for the Voodoos, and the Rock trying to get something going right now. They've had a little tough run lately. So, and like we said earlier, great rivalry. I think the teams don't like each other very much, and we should have a spirited Friday night game here tonight in Powassan.
We should indeed. And speaking of the North Bay Battalion, as you mentioned, they're playing their first OHL game of the season tonight against the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds in the Sault. They're currently up 1-0 on a goal by Kyle Jackson, assisted by Ty Nelson and Matvey Petrov. We'll keep you up to date on the Battalion game all night long as we go through this Voodoos game, which is currently delayed but they'll be starting here momentarily. It was delayed because of an accident on Highway 11 North. So, but real quick, we do have the lineups for the teams as they start the game. We'll start it off with the Timmins Rock, who have the lineup for you. Their top line is Haroon, Pigeon, and Ring, followed by Charette, Frederick, and Pizarrik. Wells, Poole, Renard, Lowe, Jib, and Beard. Cadio, Frederick, and Nyman make up the top pairing on D. Trottier and Pettit make up the second pairing, and T. Nyman and Longhurst make up the third pairing. Boyvin's getting the start in net. He's in 4 games, 2-2 with a 201 goals against and a 921 save percentage. Jacob Brown, his backup. We do have the Powassan Voodoos starting lineup as well. And I'll hand the reins over to Mr. Bob Coles, who can take us through the Powassan Voodoos starting lineup.
Well, we got Long, Shields, and McMillan on the top line. Smetham, Patrick, and O'Brien. Then Service, Kelly, and McDonald. Savignac, Scott, and Bore. Little and Wilkie are the top defense pair for the Powassan Voodoos, followed by Douglas and Thies and Risman and Fullerton. And in Goldenite for the Powassan Voodoos is Cannon Flageau. So look forward to that tonight. And of course it's Reconciliation Day across the country, and I know the Voodoos have they're doing orange under their green in recognition of our First Nations people and remembering what's happened at the residential schools, and it's about making people aware, and today's all about listening, and so and the Voodoos and the battalion too as well in their game honoring our First Nations peoples.
Yeah, a nice little moment on Twitter for Dallin Wakely today too to talk about the First Nations people. He, of course, from the Curve Lake First Nation, so good to see them bring the attention to that as the two teams take to the ice here. Quickly, we will go through our players to watch.
Players to Watch is brought to you by Mike the Financial Advisor. If you have financial questions, he has financial answers. On Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at MikeBFA.
Well, my player to watch for the Powassan Voodoos, Courtney, is Alex Little. He comes into this game with 9 points, 8 assists, actually leads the team in scoring, and very fast skater, and sometimes you're not sure if he's a forward or a defenseman, but he plays an exciting game.
He does indeed, and when we're talking about the Timmins Rock, our player to watch is Brady Haroon. He has 13 points in 7 games. That's almost 2 points per game. But right now, before we get things going, we're going to take things down to the pregame show going on right now, talking about truth and reconciliation, and a moment of silence.
Thank you very much. Please join Tim Scarrow for the singing of the American and Canadian national anthems.
So proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we
trip for the Timmins team to get here. There was an accident, so it's a long trip. Anytime you drive from Timmins to the North Bay area, it's a long trip. It's 4 hours, so even longer today for these Rock, and it'll be interesting the energy they have, and maybe some of the Voodoos want to take advantage of early in the game, see if they have their bus legs just to start. And for the Voodoos, good Friday night crowd here. And I don't think the late start has really impacted the number of people who are here. They're ready to go, and a lot of orange we see in the crowd as well, recognizing the plight of First Nations, and a day to listen to what First Nations are telling us here as we get things underway. Courtney, Timmins against Powassan.
Thank you very much, Bob. We're underway as the puck's into the Voodoos zone quickly. The Voodoos in their home greens going right to left on our broadcast, and the Rock going the road whites going left to right as the Rock come out of the corner. Quickly out front, it's a missed opportunity for the Rock early as there was a fan shot, and the shot comes in on Flejo from the point, who promptly knocks it down. And I just must say, our condolences go to the friends and family of Ken Walker, who passed away. I'm told he was a big fan of ours and a fan of local hockey in the area going back to the Centennial days. He was really excited about the broadcast, and of course Matt Sukram with his exciting call. So just wanted to send along our condolences to the Walker family and thinking about you during this time. As the Voodoos are back underway in their own zone, Little quickly up the ice, a fast skater, as Bob mentioned, up to Smetham. Little with a quick shot, it goes wide. A great scoring opportunity for the Voodoos early. Voodoos keeping the puck in, but they lose it off to the Rock. And the Rock get it up and out to Ring, who's the one who gets it out, but the Voodoos turn around quickly at their bench. Powassan's just going to dump it in, and it's knocked in. And in deep go the Voodoos, but the Rock quickly on the return go back the opposite way, stood up at the red line before they get it in, but no further than the blue line. But enough that it wasn't offside, and the teams were able to get in. But the Voodoos turn right back around. And a lot of play through the neutral zone early as these two teams try to figure each other out in the early going. We're just over a minute in, and up the ice the Voodoos go. Douglas ends up icing it, and with 18:43 left on the clock here in the first period, Bob.
You mentioned the passing of Mr. Walker, and Ben Long, our producer, would be interested in this. He was around for 22 of the 24 Montreal Stanley Cup wins.
Insane.
So what a great fan he was of the Habs, and just a sad moment this week, but he got to witness a lot of Montreal Cups, didn't he?
Yeah, that's more Stanley Cups than I'll ever see my favorite team win, which is the Maple Leafs, so I'll see 0 in my lifetime. Not that I'm sad or anything. Don't feel bad for me. I've chose this life. The Rock get it up, chip it in, so no icing as it was chipped in at neutral ice. Big hit behind the boards of the Voodoos zone. I almost said Battalion there, Bob. Puck in the corner. Again, we'll keep an eye on the Battalion score. And a pass across ice from Pettit. And the Voodoos recollect. Shields up to Kelly. Kelly goes in. New addition to the Voodoos. He tries the wraparound move. And Boyven's going to stand tall on that one. Poole almost in all the way by himself. He takes the shot. It misses the net. Will the Rock keep it in? Oh, apparently they don't, as it's judged offside by Matt McClellan, the linesman.
Ethan Poole with a good burst of speed, and we talked to Coach Goulet before the game, and he said, we like our team speed. That's really the strength of our team, but we've got to also learn how to finish games. And he says it's not how you start, it's how you finish, both in the regular season and throughout the year, and within the games and within periods. So loves the start, loves the energy at the beginning of games, but he wants to maintain that over 60 minutes.
Absolutely. Quickly, Wells comes in. He tries to dipsy doodle around a few guys. And it's into the corner. The Rock keep it in. Goes behind the net. And there's a bit of a action back there. And now a backhanded attempt comes in, but it misses the net of Flejo. Cross ice to Longhurst. Longhurst with the shot attempt, but really just off the boards out front. And Flejo scrambling around looking for it as the puck just did a whole lot of bouncing, and he never got a handle on it. Voodoos well to come out of that with still an even score. Fees now looks up ice, and they lose it in the neutral zone. The Rock turn around, try to get things back up. And a big hit by Savanac on Jib as the puck's knocked loose into the Voodoo zone. A quick rush attempt up ice. And that was thwarted. Puck now knocked back in. And they're going to chase for it. No icing, of course. And it's kept in by Little. Little takes the shot, and it nearly handcuffed Boivin, who almost looked like Vesatoskala on that one as the puck took a quick bounce at the last second. But unlike Vesatoskala, he stops that one, Bob.
Yeah, unlike him, the puck stayed out. And a good play by Timmins at the bench there that one of the guys was coming off, but he didn't touch the puck because guys were coming on. Would have been too many men on Timmins, but he didn't touch it, so a good play there. Always be aware of when you're going off the ice that don't touch the puck on your way to the bench because guys are already on by that time. They give you that sort of second of difference as long as you don't touch it. He didn't, and there was no call against the Rock.
No, keeping it active, and I should say that was Wilkie with the shot, not Little. Wilkie, another new addition to the Voodoos, scored his first goal on the road against the Paper Kings a week ago. Rock tried to get it out of their zone. McMillan just knocking it back in. And now in comes a heavy shot by Tucker Shields. Tucker Shields supplying a lot of offense so far. In 7 games, he has 5 goals for the Voodoos. And he almost got a 6th one there as he was able to get in almost all alone. Long now, the speedster who's been on fire recently, just dumps the puck in, and we get a stoppage of play, Bob.
Caden Long with 3 goals and 5 points. Son of course, Mark Long, who's a local hockey name and coaches in North Bay. So I'm sure the Longs are out here in some form tonight, or some of their friends. It's quite a contingent that comes out to see Caden play here in Powassan. Even the mayor of North Bay was here last week.
He's here again today.
Part of the Long family. Corey Long, of course, the mother, I believe.
Puck knocked in. Flegeau knocks it away. And the Rock just gather it in the corner. Get around Little, take the shot. It's well wide. Back out to the blue line. And a bit of a dump-in attempt there. That was Trache who knocked it in. And the Voodoos look up ice on a weak clearing attempt to Patrick. And then they're going to have to chase it in. But they negate the icing as a heavy hit comes in on the end board. And we got a arm up in the air looking like a penalty as the Timmins player is slow to get up, but is able to get up under his own power. So that's our first penalty of the game, Bob.
And you have to be aware of where you are on the ice. I don't think there was an intent to injure or anything there on that play, but what happens sometimes is you're going so fast and then you don't have time to stop when there's another player in the position you're skating into, and that seemed to be what happened there. And so the Voodoos get a penalty, and the Timmins power play, and you know, Haroon and Pigeon really stand out for me. They have 26 points combined. Pigeon has 11 assists and 5 goals for Haroon. Nicholas Friedrich is big too. 3 players in double figures here for Timmins.
What a glove save by Flageau, flashing that one as they were trying to set up from Ovechkin's office on that one. That was Haroon, speaking of, who had a wide open attempt, but he wasn't able to get the shot away, and then with a quick pass. So that's 2 minutes to Connor O'Brien for boarding.
Yeah, Courtney, all 3 of those guys I mentioned are on the power play.
Yeah, this is a dangerous group. Another quick shot by Haroon, and Flageau, as if saying, we know what your power play is all about. Stands tall on that one.
Well,
15 seconds gone.
When you're shorthanded, Courtney, your best penalty killer is going to be your goalie.
Agreed.
And he can't give up rebounds, and
No.
and he's made 2 really sharp saves lately.
He has. Puck back to the blue line. They send it in. Pigeon goes after it. And they're just going to try and play them along the half boards. Puck back to the blue line again. They almost lose the handle on it, but they're still able to get it in deep. Haroon picks it up. And we're going to see a hand pass called here. So stoppage of play. 14:40 left in the first. 1:25 left in the Rock power play.
Yeah, that first goal so important in a game like with rivals, and and Timmins has the first advantage, so let's see what they can do. But that was a big hand pass because the puck comes out over the blue line, so Timmins not too happy with the hand pass, I'm sure.
No, not at all. And again, this Timmins Rock team and this Powassan Voodoos team, two teams that do not like each other very much at all, as we mentioned. And the Voodoos are going to be able to break out here. And they try to pass it. That was McMillan, or Smetham, I should say. And he wasn't able to get it to his intended target. Douglas now stepping up on Haroon. Puck comes across. And Pigeon with the shot in close. And Flageau's just going to knock it away. And the Voodoos are going to dump it down the ice and kill some precious time now. 45 seconds left on the power play. And precious time indeed killed off as the Voodoos also get some fresh legs out there. Italian prospect Rismond out there as well. So good to see him as a 16-year-old out here killing penalties. At our next stoppage and play, we'll have a couple of battalion updates for you as well. Looks like they've scored a couple of more times. Poole. Back at the point, tries to take the shot. They try to knock it away. Flageau would have been way out of position, but he was able to get back as the puck was redirected, but into some legs. But it was redirected in a way that would have had a wide open net, but quickly we'll send things over to producer Ben Long, who will give us an update on the battalion game.
So we have more of the same from earlier in the game. We have Kyle Jackson with the second goal, assisted by Matvey Petrov, and this time Justin Ertl gets in for his first point as a battalion player. And then we have Matvey Petrov scored a goal from Nelson and Ertl with his second assist.
Oh, they're going to be a dangerous team as the shot comes in. 5 seconds left on the power play. Thank you for that update, Ben. They're going to be a very dangerous team this year as the Voodoos are back to full force. And shots on goal now 7-2 in favor of the Rock. O'Brien, who's the penalized player, out there to play the puck around. He's going to stay out there. As a big body check comes in. And we get the puck up and out. And you see the netting go, so it's out of play.
Well, you mentioned the battalion, and of course Matvey Petrov, the late recall there.
He's got to have jet lag coming across the country to go to the Sioux that quickly.
Yeah, and Kyle Jackson, of course, and Ty Nelson, Dom DiVincentis. 9 players, I think, of the battalion were in NHL camps or something to do with NHL teams in the training camp period. 7 drafted players and 2 undrafted players. So that's a wealth of experience for Ryan Houlihan this year. And
correct me if I'm wrong, Kyle McDonald's still away at camp. So
yes, yep.
They have the potential to become even more dangerous if he comes back. O'Brien, he muscles his way into the Rock zone. Gets the puck for Smetham. And they're just going to play along the boards. Still in the corner. Smetham takes his man in. And it comes free with the Rock having possession. Although the Voodoos doing everything in their power to make sure that it's not a pleasant experience for the Rock in their own zone as they dump it up on all the boards. And a high stick and then a hit by O'Brien go unnoticed. But the high stick, thankfully in this league, Bob, they have the cages so you don't get hit in the face.
Well, he got away with one there. That should have been a penalty.
It should have been. Regardless, it's still a penalty. It's just you don't have to worry about the chiclets falling out or anything.
That's right.
Risman losing the puck in his own zone. And the Rock try to get an attempt on net. The Voodoos quickly through the neutral zone. As that's McMillan. Bure. Through the neutral zone. Back to the Rock zone. And it's quickly lost by Savanac, but the Voodoos back on the attack. They come in, Bure. He's going to be hassled. Leaves the puck for Risman, who just stands up his man at the blue line. Then the puck finally comes out. And here we go. The Rock coming in with an attempt with a shot. Flageau turning away his 8th shot of the game already through the first 10 minutes of the game. So early returns right now for the Voodoos is Flageau, the early MVP. Beard goes cross ice. It's picked off, but nobody can help him as McDonald just knocks it in. Had no support, so he's just content to play the puck behind the net, and the Rock pick it back up. Rock looking up ice. You wouldn't be able to tell this is a team reeling on a three-game losing streak with the way that they played through the first 9 minutes and change, Bob. But they're with an offside play, and we'll get another stoppage and play.
No, it's like we're in Timmins, right, in this game. The crowd's been pretty quiet, only 2 shots for the home side. And you wouldn't know that Timmins has not shown any ill effects of that long bus trip, right? And no bus legs in the first period for them, that's for sure.
I've never been to Timmins, but I've been to Cochrane as recently as a week ago, so I know that trip a little well. It's not the most exciting trip on Highway 11 North, that's for sure.
Well, I had a radio job in Timmins for a few years, and
Yeah.
so I'm familiar with the old Timmins Golden Bears. Used to play at the Archie Dillon Sportsplex. Steve Sullivan, of course, well known from that community, and
Yep.
they've had great NHL history. A lot of Tim Horton, of course, was from Cochrane, owns a few donut stores.
Just a couple.
That family, but not anymore, of course. He's passed, but yeah, there's a great hockey history. Alan Stanley, the old Leaf from South Porcupine, I believe. So yeah,
Yep.
great
Bill
hockey.
Barilko?
Yeah, Bill Barilko, of course, the Stanley Cup winning goal, and he
I think
perished soon after.
I think a small Canadian band wrote a song about him as well, so they're not that big. Something about being hip or something, I don't know. As we're back underway here at the Sportsplex.
Tragically hip, if you didn't get that one.
It would be very tragic if you didn't get that joke, Bob.
Yes, that's
We're just here for the worst puns of the night. Back in action in the Voodoos zone. Voodoos doing everything they can. That's McMillan to try and get the puck out to the neutral zone. And puck goes down the ice again into the Rock zone. Long with some wheels. Tries to beat out the Rock player, but unfortunately he wasn't able to, as that was Trache winning the race on that. Douglas just knocks the puck back in. And the Voodoos content to chase after it. Shot still 8-2 as we're past the midway point of the first period. Douglas back to the point, and a quick shot on goal by Kelly that misses the net. Kelly also picking up his first goal in a Voodoos uniform last weekend. And what speed by Poole. He's going to be a thorn in the Voodoos side. As the Flageau's able to keep the puck out, he loses his stick in the process. Can't get it as it's out of the net, as he's finally able to pick it up with the Rock down at the blue line. They look up ice for Reinhard.
Courtney Ethan Poole has just one goal. Hard to believe with that speed he's shown in the first period.
Yeah, exactly. 1 goal, 2 assists for 3 points in 6 games. As the puck comes out.
Timmins seems to be moving a lot swifter than Powassan, I guess is the right word for it.
Yep.
In the early going here, they're generating more speed, they're generating more scoring chances. Good goaltending in the Powassan end has kept the game scoreless, but they're being outshot 9-2. Another penalty right now, and that one's to the visitors.
Yeah, to Timmins. It's going to be Wells sitting in the box. Looks like boarding was the call again. So both teams charged with a boarding penalty here. So that is Liam Wells, 2 minutes for boarding, as we waited on bated breath on every word.
As Wells for boarding. So this is a good chance for Powassan to try to get some momentum.
Yes.
They don't need to score on this power play. That'd be nice, but just to get some zone time and get some chances to pick up the energy of the team.
Yeah, they're sorely lacking some energy here. Being outshot 9-2 so far. As Little picks it up. And as Red Green always says, keep your stick on the ice, as that just went right by his teammate for not having a stick on the ice.
That's what Wayne Gretzky said too, by the way.
He did. Red Green a little bit more famous, Bob.
I don't know about that.
Okay, one of them is a hockey player. The other one's known for duct tape. You tell me who's more famous. McDonald coming in. Gets the puck back to Service at the half board, who gets it promptly back to Little at the blue line. Little goes cross ice, and the shot comes in. It misses the net, and because of the lively boards here in Powassan, puck goes all the way down the ice. Flageau leaving the puck for his captain, Little. And Little's just going to let his guys set up here. The Voodoos, interestingly, starting off with 2 defensemen, with Risman and Little both out there to start this power play. Or not to start, but play the remainder of this power play. As Little just walks his way through a lot of the Rock. Long up to Little, and it's in the skates, where Little would have been in some dangerous zone, but the puck goes up and over the boards. And I can't tell you precisely how much time is left on the power play for the Voodoos, as it's hidden, but I can tell you they're under a minute.
Well, I think Risman and Little were put out there. Little more of a, he can take more chances, especially on the power play. And Risman's sort of the guy, the dependable guy in the back end. So it's an interesting a combination on the back end there on the Powassan power play.
For sure, and Risman, again, the pick of the battalion, playing this year in Powassan, but he'll get to practice with the battalion as he was signed by the troops during training camp. Patrick just looks to rim it around, and Long will pick it up at the half boards, electing to leave it for his defenseman. Long in for his teammate in deep. So Brian, cross ice to Risman. Risman takes a heavy shot, and it goes wide. Thies now up to O'Brien, back to Thies. Thies just walks the line, gives it to Risman. Risman gets it out front to Long, who tries to tip it, but it just goes through his stick. We're going to see the end of this power play as Wells is back out on the ice. And Long with the puck now. Tries to get it out, and instead it's going to be a foot race quickly as we see Flageau come out almost like Dominic Hasek from years prior as O'Brien comes in with the shot. And Boyven makes his first save in a while. Now the Rock back the other way. Poole coming in again with a great burst of speed, gets the puck out front. And Flageau swimming in his crease a little bit as nobody can seem to find the puck, and we're going to get a penalty here to the Voodoos.
Yeah, Courtney, there are only about 6 cross-checks for the Powassan zone. They eventually had to call one.
Yeah.
And but good speed again by the Rock on that chance.
How does Poole only have 1 goal?
That's what I'm figuring. Like I said, he generates speed and he creates traffic in front, trying to get the just push it into the back of the net. But yeah, so another big power play for Timmins, trying to break the maiden here in a scoreless game.
A good block by Shields from Peugeot. And Haroon now picks it up. Haroon tries to go cross ice, but it's going to be blocked in front. And that was a good play by Wilkie, stopping that puck from going across the dangerous zone of the ice. The Rock regroup in their own zone. Trache goes up ice, and the Rock break into the zone. Haroon now looks cross ice, and that's Shields picking that one up, but quickly another shot attempt by Peugeot. The puck goes up, hits the back wall in about the only place where there's no netting, and bounces back on the ice.
Again, Timmins trying to put pressure on the Powassan using their speed, and the Voodoos, like we say, have been hemmed in a little in this one, and have to get through this $1.25 here to keep the game scoreless. But Timmins has been the better team so far.
They have been indeed, as a shot total would indicate, 10-3 as well. Trache with the puck at the blue line over to Peugeot. Crows looks to go cross ice for a one-timer for Haroon, but the pass was in his skates. And the Rock pick it back up. Frederick back to Trache. Up to Haroon. Haroon tries to just walk his way in. The Voodoos get it back out with Scott getting it back to the blue line. And as he takes a hit, he sends the puck down the ice, and Boyven has to pick it up. Nyman has the puck in his own zone. It's Kenyon Nyman. 19 in your programs.
Yeah, 2 brothers who both play defense, but not on the same pairing on this Rock team.
No. The puck quickly goes up as Poole again, or Wells that time, I should say, with another burst of speed. Gets the puck out front. Flageau had to be strong on that one. And the puck back to Frederick at the point. And now Shields has an attempt, but he's basically gassed at the end of his shift. And Smetham now, as the Voodoos have a makeshift 2-on-1. Shields with a great shot. He gets a chance. A secondary chance as well, as stopped by Boyven. And what a great attempt, shorthanded by the Voodoos with 2 seconds left. Poole loses the handle of it, but the Voodoos can't get it out of their zone. We're back to 5-on-5 hockey here as the pace has ramped up a little bit here in the last few minutes. Big hit in the Voodoos zone. And now Powassan goes through the neutral zone. Scott gets the puck in, tries to get it out front, and a quick shot comes in. And what a great chance by Bure. And with 4:18 left because of the NOJHL rules, here's our mid-period break.
Patrick Boyven, to me, it's tough when you're the other goalie and the other your team's getting chances. You're not giving up a lot, and then suddenly you get a tough one. And so that was a big save by Boyven to keep the game scoreless.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Average Joe's Eatery. Average Joe's, where we want your experience here to be a happy one. 3501 Trout Lake Road.
And thanks to Average Joe's for helping us improve and expand our services, whether it's the podcast, the Frontline podcast, or Ryan Olahan, the battalion head coach, the guest this week, or our game day broadcast. We've done a few game day broadcasts of Voodoos hockey, and we got, of course, battalion in a couple of weeks with the home opener on the 13th of October against Peterborough, and we also have Trappers play this year on this. So we're going to be a busy crew. We only have one Ben Long, and he's going to have to be in 3 places at once.
Can we clone him? Is that possible? Is that allowed? It'd be wonderful if we could. As the puck to the neutral zone. As we're back under action with 4 minutes left in the first. Little chases after it, and we're going to get tied up in the neutral zone, but the puck's going to come in, and Flageau is going to come out and play it and leave it for Wilkie. Shields tries to find Wilkie going up ice. He overskates the puck, and the Voodoos just dump it back in. Shots a little bit more even, but they're still not so much. 11-6 now after that last little fury by the Voodoos, I should say. English is hard sometimes, Bob. Puck rimmed around the Voodoos zone. And the Rock just pick it back up in their neutrals, or in their blue line. Going up ice. Patrick tries to make a big hit, and almost knee on knee. And O'Brien picks it up for the Voodoos. Looking up ice. They're just going to dump it in. As the puck hit a Voodoos player on the way in, so no icing. But quickly the Rock break out of their zone. 3 minutes left in the first. And the puck's regrouped by the Rock again in their own zone. Now it's dumped in for the Voodoos netminder Flageau to come out and play it. And he's going to dump it into the neutral zone. And quickly, once again, the Rock are going to regroup at their blue line. Coming in now, Frederick gets across ice, and the Rock are going to score the first goal of this game. That's Charette on a pass by Frederick. And that'll be Charette's second of the season, Bob.
Well, we've seen that kind of play, 15 times or so in the first period, and eventually it's going to cost the Voodoos as they just seem to be having more energy, and they're able to move the puck in front, and they finally connected on the pass, and ends up in a goal at the back of the Powassan net. So, Timmins has been making that kind of play, cruising around the net the whole period, and it finally pays off for them.
Coming into this game, the Voodoos, as the puck quickly is up and over the glass, coming into this game, the Voodoos on a mini 2-game winning streak, and the Rock on a mini 3-game losing streak. And again, it hasn't looked like the teams that are on the winning streak are currently on the winning streak, and the team that's on the losing streak doesn't look like they're currently on a losing streak. They've been playing really well, the Rock, so far through the first almost 18 minutes of this game. 2.5 minutes to go.
No, you wouldn't know it that Powassan was the hot club and Timmins the cold club coming into this one.
McMillan dancing around a guy behind the net. Tries to get the puck out front. Can't get it to go. Shields chasing after it now in the corner. Frederick tries to get it up and out. And they do so as Nyman gets it to Charette, the goal scorer. Charette dumps it into the corner. Comes out for Flageau, who's had himself a heck of a first period, albeit allowing the 1 goal. Scrum in the corner on the far side. 1:48 left. The Voodoos are going to come away with it. Risman going to go for a bit of a skate before he passes it up to Kelly. Kelly takes the shot. Boyven saw that one all the way in. And with 1:38 left in the first period, we're going to get another stoppage of play.
And I want to remark on the passing of Ron Ringler. Peterborough Pete's scout, but lived in Powassan with his wife, and he passed away recently. He was at a lot of battalion games. Always had a hockey chat for you. Always gave you a little tip about the OHL, and I know they miss him in Peterborough, but they miss him in this area too. And our best wishes to his family and friends, our condolences. Just a great guy, a great hockey guy too, and a scout, and such sad news with his passing in the last week or so.
Ironically, former scout with the battalion as well.
That's right.
When they were in Brampton. Kelly gets the puck out to the far side, but no further than the blue line. As that was Pettit who shot it in wide. Quickly, hard shot by Heron comes in and misses the net. Puck now back out front. And Haroon going for a bit of a skate. Dumps it in as we're under the last minute now as the Rock in the dangerous zone of Gretzky's office while we're making hockey references. Sorry, Red Green, you don't have a spot on the ice named after you. And the puck's back out to the neutral zone. Peugeot loses the handle of it to Little. Little goes for a bit of a race. He takes the shot. It's blocked away by Boyven. And now the puck's back to the blue line for Scott. Scott dumps it in. And now we're going to get a late whistle, as it looks like we're going to get a too many men call here against the Timmins Rock with 17.5 seconds left on the clock in this period.
You can see how these fans love Alex Little. I'm sure a lot of the young fans, he's probably might be their favorite player on the Voodoos. The way he plays, just a bundle of energy, and really, really pushes the puck up the ice and loves to create scoring chances for his mates. And 8 of his 9 points are of the assist variety. So a really fun guy to watch, but it's Powassan that gets the penalty.
Yeah, Risman's going to go in to serve it. Interesting there. As the Rock try to make it a 2-0 game quickly before the break. Too many men on the ice. And the Voodoos are going to dump it down. And Boyven picks it up, and that'll do it for this period here. Shots on goal after the first, 12-8 in favor of the Rock. And it's a 1-0 game for the Rock as well, Bob.
Yeah, we thought Timmins might have bus legs after the long trip, and Powassan would come out with a lot of aggressiveness and push the game to them, but it was actually the opposite. Timmins pushed the game to Powassan, and Powassan really fortunate they're only down a goal after one period, so they're going to have to show some energy in the room, and I'm sure the coaches will give it a little talking to and say, got to show more energy, boys, in the second year. Get back. And they're not out of the game. They're only down 1-0, but they need a better second period for sure, and they'll start the period shorthanded.
I was just going to say, what would help them go a long way to having a better second is not being shorthanded. But as you mentioned, they're going to start the second shorthanded. That's going to do it here for the first period of coverage from the Frontline Game Day broadcast. We'll be back with more action here after this.
Average Joe's Eatery and Patio Bar is North Bay's only year-round lakefront restaurant. On the shores of beautiful Trout Lake, we have been serving delicious food and stunning views since 1999. Indulge in one of our delicious menu items, or simply sit with a cocktail in hand and watch the beauty of Trout Lake before your eyes. Check us out online at averagejoes.net or visit us in person at 3501 Trout Lake Road, North Bay.
The Frontline Podcast, Season 3. Courtney Kenny, Matthew Supram, Derek Lindemann, Bob Coles, and Ben Long bring you closer to your favorite teams like never before. Covering everything to do with hockey in the North Bay area, exclusive interviews with the North Bay Battalion staff and players, expert analysis on the OHL, NOJHL, and more, keeping you up to date on all things Voodoos, Trappers, Lakers, and more. It's a new season, it's a new adventure. The Frontline Podcast, Season 3. Available wherever you download your favorite podcast.
You rely on your vehicle to take you to the places that matter most to you. So bring your vehicle to the team you can rely on to keep it running at its best. Dave's Automotive Services. Whether you're getting your car or truck ready for the season with a tire change, making sure you're safe on the road with an inspection and certification, or doing your due diligence to keep your vehicle in tip-top shape with regular maintenance, Dave's Automotive Services has you covered. Expert troubleshooting, quality repairs, and time-efficient labor are the 3 stars of service you can expect when you bring your car or truck to Dave's Automotive Services at 411 Airport Road. Call 705-478-5544 and book your appointment today.
Hey there, I'm Mike the Financial Advisor. When you strip it down to its core and you take away all the industry jargon, I help people solve financial concerns. So if you're concerned that you'll never save enough to retire comfortably, or that your kid's going to graduate post-secondary $40,000 in debt, or maybe even that life is going to take a really unfortunate sideways turn and somebody is going to have to open a GoFundMe page for you and your family, I can help you prevent all of those things from happening. If you want to see how, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Just do a search for Mike the Financial Advisor. You should find me.
Meals are a special time for families to gather, share their day, and spend quality time together. Those dinners are made extra special when you add tropical produce found in the markets and grocery stores that carry La Huerta imports. La Huerta knows the importance of family, so they know which quality products make the best quality meals for your customers. Whether it be Mexican Hass avocados, Brazilian figs, Ecuadorian red dragon fruit, or something just as exotic and special. To get your supply of the best tropical produce at competitive prices with brands buyers trust, contact La Huerta Imports at 705-752-1478.
Community engagement is one of our core focuses at McDonald's. The key is finding the right people who are passionate about the same things we are, helping kids be kids. McDonald's proudly supports local organizations such as the North Bay Regional Health Center Foundation, Big Brothers Big Sisters, One Kids Place, the Children's Aid Society, and Ronald McDonald House Charities. Stop by McDonald's on 1500 Fisher Street, North Bay, to see how we can serve you and the community every day. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Average Joe's Eatery. Average Joe's, where we want your experience here to be a happy one. 3501 Trout Lake Road.
And welcome back to Powassan for the second period between the Voodoos and the Timmins Rock. Powassan down 1-0 on a goal by Charette in the first period for Timmins. The Rock out shooting the Voodoos 12-8, and there will be a $1.42 still left on the Powassan too-many-men penalty with just 18 seconds to go in the second period. So, Courtney Kenny, Powassan's going to kill this penalty and then try and get a little more energy than they had in the first period. Timmins, despite a long bus trip, didn't show any sign of bus legs, but let's see, Powassan could use their speed here to get a good start to this period. But first, kill that penalty off.
Yeah, the Voodoos could use it for sure. And as they line up here, the Voodoos in their, as we're going to see one warning here in the face-off, as the Voodoos line up in their home greens, going left to right this time, and the Rock and their road whites going right to left. We will talk to you about some out-of-town scoreboards at the first break here, as the Voodoos look to kill off this power play. As you mentioned, Bob, shot comes in. Flageau does the splits and somehow keeps that one out. And then we have the whistle blown maybe a little bit late, but Wilkie basically took matters into his own hand and knocked a gentleman in to the into the Voodoos net after Flageau made quite the save. Real quick, before Bob gets his opinions on that, there's only really one game to talk about. The Hearst Lumber Kings are up 2-0 towards the end of the second period against Cochrane Crunch. The other game tonight between Elliott Lake and the Sioux Eagles has been postponed.
There was
Bob?
Lucas Pekarczyk at the receiving end of that hit by Wilkie, and Timmins didn't. There was no whistle, so that's what you're coached up to do, right? Unless they whistle it down, you're going to keep digging at the goal, and Wilkie didn't like it and protected his goalie there.
Yeah, 5-on-3 now. Quick, excuse me. Quick goal comes in. Apologies for my cough there as the Timmins Rock fans come in there and making a whole bunch of noise here in Powassan. And that's going to be the Rock now up 2-0 as Frederick scores the first power play goal here. Still 1:50 left on the power play as Wilkie has to serve that 1:50.
Yeah, Courtney, it took just 10 seconds with a two-man advantage for Timmins to make it 2-0. So Wilkie was coming to the aid of his goalie, but it was a little too vociferous in the minds of the officials, and the Rock take advantage of it with the power play goal and two-man advantage. And it's 2-0, and Powassan's got to get through this stretch now. Otherwise, they could be in a deep hole here.
They could indeed as the puck comes out. Peugeot trying to go after it, but the puck comes to a Voodoo skater, just sends it down the length of the ice to kill some time. 1:20 left on the power play. If you're the officials in this one, I don't think they can get out of here quick enough after the game, Bob, because I don't think some Voodoos fans are very happy with them after that as we get another call here.
No, I'm sure the Voodoos fans are feeling, hey, that was a good hockey player. The whistle should have come. He's protecting his goaltender, and but at the same time, it was a little vociferous, I guess, than needed to be, and that's why the penalty was called.
And we got the music still going here. Finally, it comes off. And the Rock now with the possession in their own zone. A little bit hard to talk when there's Bad to the Bone going on in the background. You just want to rock out, Bob.
That's a great song, I got to admit.
Icing call here against the Rock. 48 seconds left on the man advantage for them as well.
Well, there's a lot of rock music, and the music that's been chosen tonight, and they're playing the Rock. So I don't know, maybe you play a little jazz. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's inspired the visitors from Timmins tonight.
Yeah. Maybe it is. I'm personally a rock fan. I didn't listen to any rock on the way here. Come on, you got to make sacrifices.
Courtney Kenny just said he was a rock fan. That's
Not that
all.
kind of rock, Bob. I am unbiased as an announcer in this league. Timmins with the possession back in the Voodoo zone. Got the puck back to the blue line. And they're just going to content to pass it around as a shot attempt does come in, but it's blocked and the puck goes all the way out to the neutral zone for Claudio Frederick to send it back in. Now getting double teamed in the corner is a Voodoos player, and he's being held down now by, looks like, Wells, who's holding him down, was able to get his glove kind of into his the meshing of his cage and hold him down there.
Well, we just turned a hockey game into the rugby sevens in the corner there, like a rugby scrum there, but it's funny, isn't it, hockey? I mean, I was talking about this with Coach Goulet, you never know what to expect in a hockey game, and here's Timmins coming in, winless in 3, Powassan on a 2-game winning streak, and you wouldn't know it the way this game's gone so far. No, you wouldn't. Timmins out shooting the Voodoos now, doubling them up 16-8 in the game, and that'll do it as we're back to 5-on-5 hockey. Let's see if the Voodoos can get some more legs under them as Risman comes out. Tries to get around a guy with a move, and the puck gets around him, but Risman doesn't. Sent around by Smitham. And we're going to go back into the Voodoos neutral zone. The Voodoos with possession as Patrick comes in. He takes the shot to Boyven, and they score! The Voodoos get on the board as Connor O'Brien's able to get the rebound past Boyven, and it's a 2-1 hockey game, Bob. And the Voodoos needed that. They did a good job. They crashed the net. They found the loose puck, and they get the goal. And they made it a 1-goal game, and certainly that'll be a big lift on the bench. And they killed that penalty off. That was important, and now they've got the offense going with their first goal of the game. So a good rush of energy from the Voodoos. They just kept it simple. They went to the net, they crashed it, found the loose puck, and put it home. Lots of fans unhappy. Wanting them to drop the puck. Yeah. In a timely manner. There, they finally drop it. That's Adam Morell, the referee on that one. He also umpires. They're still yelling. Yeah, even though, hey, puck's been dropped. Come on. Yeah. As we go now. Back to action. Adam Morell, first-time umpire as well for the North Bay Men's Baseball League. And, well, I feel like I can take some liberties and tell him some things because I know him. But he doesn't have a good strike zone. We'll put it at that. He's a great guy, though. He is a wonderful guy. Love Adam. He helps with the official's job at some of the battalion games, keeping stats, that sort of thing. He does, and he told me if he ever hears me talking bad about him on here, well, he'll find me. So, Adam Morell, great guy. Puck comes in with a shot from the slot. And the Voodoos can't get one on net as they finally do on the backhand from Long, and is turned away by Boyven. Patrick Boyven so far getting 5 starts on the year, this being his 5th. And the puck comes out to the neutral zone. McMillan tries to get it out to his teammate as it looks like the Voodoos have a little bit more legs under them now. Mini 2-on-1 developing as McMillan takes the shot. Boyven lost it. It was in and out of his glove, but it's into his pad, so he's able to get a handle on it and freeze the puck. I think Powassan got the message in the intermission. Look, use your speed, shoot the puck, but if someone else has the puck on your line, go to the net, try to get the loose puck off the rebound, and they're doing a much better job of that here in the second period. They are indeed, for sure. As the Rock come up with possession through the neutral zone, and a Rock player blows the tire by the Voodoos bench. I'm sure he got an earful from the boys in green who are waiting to go on the ice as well. Lejeau out to play the puck, gets it up to the near side half wall, and it's out to the neutral zone for once again the Timmins Rock to pick it back up. Puck goes in. Thies tries to get it past Charette, one of the goal scorers for the Rock. And now Powassan picks it back up at their blue line. Looking up ice. Pass goes through everyone. It hit a stick, so no icing. Scott's going to chase after it, but it's going to be Nyman who picks it up and turns around. A shot attempt up the ice, trying to get it down to the Voodoos zone. And now we're going to have Scott battle out in the near side half wall in the Rock zone, but the Rock are going to come away with possession.
Up ice. And we're going to see Poole with some speed. We saw a lot of speed in the first period with him. No goals to tell of, and the puck comes out dangerously and is almost knocked into Flageau. And now we're going to have another delayed penalty to the Voodoos here. And then we're going to see them pick up the puck. And we're going to get a penalty call against the Voodoos.
That's one of those, I don't know where the penalty was.
Looked like it was slashing.
You know, the Powassan guys look behind and say, what was that for? Why'd you blow it down? So some penalties are obvious, and that one not as obvious, and so...
Little hidden out there.
But the result doesn't change.
No.
They're still shorthanded, and again, a huge penalty kill for the Voodoos.
Pigeon. Back out to Nyman. Nyman takes a shot. Flageau knocks that one away. Haroun back to Nyman. Back to Haroun. Haroun takes a shot. It's wide. So that was slashing, or rather interference, I should say. Going against Nathan McDonald. Back to the point for Pigeon. And he's going to get an attempt. Flageau all over the ice, and the Rock are going to score to get up on another 2-goal lead. And that one again coming on the power play. I believe that's Haroun getting his 6th of the season now and his 14th point in 8 games.
And Cannon Flageau cannot do it all, folks. I mean, he's battling in there. He's very athletic netminder. He's making the saves, but there was a rebound there, and the Rock took advantage. But Powassan unable to get the puck off that draw, and the result ends up being a Timmins power play. So, and again, Powassan got momentum from that first goal, Courtney, but they've given it back now with a penalty, and then the resulting power play goal. 2 power play goals in this period for Timmins.
Yeah, and we're going to get stoppage and play as Patrick had the puck come at him and kicked it up and into the penalty box area, so no glass there to stop that one from going out. But yeah, just a tough all-around break for the Voodoos. I mean, we saw them against the Paper Kings, and they basically got 5 power plays in that first period and then nothing for the rest of the game. And so far, they've only got the 1 power play to speak of, and they basically tried to use that power play as a momentum booster, whereas with this one, it's been all Rock, as it's been a steady parade of green to the penalty box.
Yeah, and in that one, of course, Powassan had the lead over Espanola. This one going the other way.
Hit in the corner as the Voodoos come away with possession. O'Brien, the goal scorer, gets the puck back to the blue line, and it's going to be knocked in. Little sends it in deep for his teammates to go after. O'Brien in there again. O'Brien is Smetham, and Little picks it up. He's able to knock it down with his stick, or with his hand, I should say, and he's going to get away with it, but the puck comes out to a Rock player and goes the length of the ice for Flageau to go out and get it for Wilkie. Wilkie looking up ice. He fans on it. Frederick now all alone comes in, takes the shot. What a save by Flageau. What a great stop by Flageau, as it was a bit of a giveaway off the fan attempt by Wilkie. And Flageau had to stand his ground on that one, Bob, and really do what he could to stop that, as Frederick was basically all alone.
Well, it could be worse than 3-1, I'm telling you. With Flageau's been pretty solid. He's made 15 saves, but he's been very busy in this game, and but certainly you can't fault Flageau for Powassan being behind in this one.
No, you can't at all. As a quick pass up to Patrick. Patrick loses the handle on it, and there's bodies flying everywhere. That was Pettit who was able to knock that one away from Patrick as he tried to get the puck around him. And now we're going to see the puck go the length of the ice, but icing is going to be waved off. And we're going to get some play in the Voodoo zone because of it. Shot comes in, it goes wide of the net. And the Rock just sent it around the back end of the rink. Puck now out to the middle of the ice. Wells skates around with it, leaves it back. Puck comes in, it's off the glove of Flageau and into the corner. Now the Voodoos having issues trying to get out of their own zone. All the weird bouncing of the puck there, and they just can't seem to be able to create crisp passes or They're going to fall on that one like Thies, leaving his man all alone. What a save by Flageau as Thies fell over, and that was Haroon who scored the third goal and the best point getter for the Timmins Rock so far. And again, what a save by Flageau. Comedy of errors there.
Yeah, he was all alone, Thies, and he just, I don't know, lost awareness of where he was, and he just fell down, and it almost led to a Timmins goal. And if you notice in this game, Courtney, when Powassan has the puck, there's always two Timmins guys around. When Timmins has the puck, there's like a lot of open ice that they can set up plays with. It just seems they just have more room to make plays in this game than Powassan.
Yeah, Timmins is given all the time in the world to do whatever they want right now. And as you know, if you give someone enough time, they will find the back of the net in some way, shape, or form. And now it's Powassan as McMillan sit down. Tries to beat his guy. He's taken into the boards, but it's left for Caden Long. Long scoring a goal against Espanola here last week. Tries to kick it in. And now it's going to be Timmins back on the move with Loeb trying to bring it in. So an attempt by Powassan, or they get into Timmins' zone, and this has happened a lot of times too, Bob. Powassan gets it into the Rock zone. There's no shot.
No
shot attempt. Or if it does, it's from a distance.
They had a good push where they were going to the net and they were taking a shot and trying to get the loose puck, and that's how they got their only goal of the game. But that just stopped again, right? And they don't seem to have a consistent plan offensively. No,
they don't. And again, like you said, the first goal coming on a secondary chance. You don't see too many secondary chances for the Voodoos here. As now here comes an opportunity for Powassan as they skate around, but they quickly lose it to Timmins. And the puck comes up, hits the roof of the rink, as it's not a very tall rink here at the Sportsplex, and another stoppage in play.
Still 10:45 left in the second period, so despite all that, and Timmins up by a couple of goals here in the midway mark of the game, again, if Powassan gets the next goal, that should give them more energy and a renewed focus. So the next goal is going to be pretty big in this one.
Pretty big indeed, as the Voodoos look to have some momentum as they were able to cut the 2-goal lead to a 1-goal lead. And then quickly Timmins turned it back into another 2-goal lead as the puck bounces in. And Boyven's going to be able to stop that one and freeze the puck. Shot total 10-11 with 10:33 here left in the second. As this period, unlike the first, which kind of felt like it flew by, this period is just ground to a halt.
Yeah, lately it's had a few penalties and a lot of whistles lately, but yeah, Powassan's got to pick up their shot volume for sure.
Quick shot off the draw by McMillan. Boyven had to be sharp on that one. Douglas looking to knock it back out to the blue line. And it's into the corner in the Voodoo zone. And they get it right back out to the blue line, but there's a Rock defender able to just knock it back in. Coming up the ice is Thies. He sends it up. That's Longhurst who just turns it around and quickly gets the Rock back up on the attack. Schrey, another goal scorer in this one for Timmins. Sends it around for Long. Long just kind of gets his body down on it, and now we have a scrum of 2 Rock and 2 Voodoos players. Again, bit of a scrum there. Just letting the clock die down. 9:36 left in the second. And the Rock come away with it. And that's another thing. Winning board battles. The Rock have been doing a lot of that. There's a big hit on Douglas by the Rock zone. Or bench, and the Rock players are very happy to see that one. Now send up quickly for Wells. He loses the handle on it quickly. And Wilkie goes after it. The Voodoo's coming around. Just get the puck in deep, and the Rock go after it. The Rock skate around. They look for an option. He takes a shot. It's off Flageau's shoulder and into the corner. Now the Rock giving them all the time in the world behind the net. And nobody really gets a handle on it. Little tries to get a handle on it as well, but he can't. So far on the players to watch, Bob brought up Alex Little, and he hasn't done much for the Voodoos in this one. And Haroon, the player to watch for the Rock, he's picked up a goal. for Timmins.
This isn't a power play, right?
No, as they hit the post. And Flageau is able to get a hold of it as it comes across, hits the post, and now we get a scrum after the whistle.
So it seems like that was a Timmins power play. It wasn't a Timmins power play, but it just looked like it. And Timmins almost scored again, just buzzing around that net, Courtney, for about 45 seconds, and just cycling the puck, and they almost scored that fourth goal as we go for a timeout. And, Timmins is very close to just blowing this thing open, it seems. And Powassan's got they just don't seem to have that energy. And Timmins doing a better job of grinding out shifts, too. Like that last shift, they were grinding the puck. And it's just one of these sequences, and Timmins is fantastic.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Average Joe's Eatery. Average Joe's, where we want your experience here to be a happy one. 3501 Trout Lake Road.
Well, Courtney, what do you think so far?
Well, if you're a Powassan Voodoo fan, we're very disappointed in this game so far, because this second period has been, aside from getting the goal, it hasn't really been the second period you hoped that would happen for the Voodoos here. And, if you're a Timmins Rock fan, you made the trip from Timmins. Well, I think you're very much enjoying this game and very much enjoying the pressure that the Rock have put on the Voodoos, where they basically doubled up on the Voodoo shot total all game. Is 23-12 right now, Bob.
Yeah, and Powassan's got Timmins is like rolling right now. They're cycling and controlling the puck in the Powassan zone.
Yeah, and they're always the first ones in on the puck. And McMillan now trying to get the puck out. He fans on, and that's another thing too, is a big hit from McMillan, I should say, at the blue line.
They did, Courtney, call a hooking penalty on that play at the line before the hit. So let's see how all this shakes out. It should be a Powassan power play.
So that's Pigeon going off. So maybe again, we talked about the last power play. Oh, you don't need to score, you just got to get some momentum. Well, again, you don't have to score, you just got to get some momentum, but at some point you got to score.
Yeah, this is the big one. Right now. Could change the game here and get Powassan to within one.
Back out to Wilkie. Wilkie with a shot right into the chest of Boyven. He saw that one coming all day long, and that was probably one of his easier saves of the game, Bob.
Patrick Boyven, 2-2 on the year, 2.01 goals against average, and a .921 save percentage. So .923 for Jacob Brown. So really a two goalie tandem with the Rock.
Yeah, they look pretty good. Jacob Brown, the goalie, better than Jacob Brown, the baseball player. Can't confirm. I didn't say that, Jake. You didn't hear me say that. What are you talking about? Just in, I've been cut from my baseball team.
Oh, I see.
Puck goes in deep. Wilkie tries to get a hold of it, but the Rock able to just knock it back down. Killing some precious time here off the Voodoos power play. Little with some room to skate. He's just going to bring it into the zone himself. He's going to bring it in and shoot it again. Right to the chest of Boyven. It got behind him, and they weren't able to bury it as the puck comes back out to the neutral zone. Looked like Boyven had it all day long, Bob, but instead he picks it up, and it's behind him. So the play goes on. Off the skate of Long. That's Cadio Frederick. Try to get the puck for the Rock. Now the Voodoos try to set up shop. They go cross ice for Thies. Thies skates it in. He shoots it in. He scores! The Voodoos have some life with Thies' first goal of the season. It's the 3-2 hockey game in the second period on the power play.
Yeah, it was interesting. Boyman had a chance to freeze the puck earlier. Didn't, as you said. Play continued, and some goalies like to do that. Other goalies like to hold on to it, but regardless. So the puck comes back in a few seconds later, and that was just a good, accurate shot. It wasn't a hard shot by Thies, but it was just in the right spot, sort of like a wrister, snapped type shot. And he gets a huge goal for the Voodoos. Still loads of time left, 6:46 left in the second period, and it's a 3-2 game now.
So that's Thies's first of the year, as we mentioned, and it's his third point in 7 games. So congratulations, Sean Thies, for picking up your first NOJHL goal here at the Powassan Sportsplex, giving life to the Voodoos, and hopefully some momentum as well for the hometown faithful. Little with the puck carries it up and into the neutral zone. He's fun to watch when he gets going as they carry it in. And yeah, like you said, just a perfectly placed shot as it just beat Boyven cleanly. The Rock counterattack. They skated up and out of their zone. They're able to get it into there as quickly as Charest now walking through the slot, takes the shot. And Flageau with probably, maybe not his biggest save of the game, but his most important one, because he let that in. It's another 2-goal game, Bob.
Yeah, you don't want to give momentum back. And hockey is a next goal game. What does the next goal mean? What does it do? And so when you get one and you get back in the game, you don't want to return the favor. And but Flageau has been solid in this game, no doubt about it. 21 saves now, and he's given the Voodoos a chance.
He has indeed. He's been fun to watch in this one. Go to work. There's an attempt cross ice. Flageau able to keep that one out. I don't think the puck's gotten to him yet, as there's a pile of bodies there. Flageau just picking it up as it comes out of the scrum and out for the Voodoos to try and get it out of their zone. Service, as we got a bit of a melee going on with some helmets coming off, and Risman now taking Ring down to the ice. Lots of big hits coming.
Yeah, this game's getting a little physical.
Getting a little rival-like, if you could say. Again, nobody really here from the heyday of the rivalry in the 2019-2020 season. You should have seen it. It was something else then. As the Rock trying to walk out in front of the net. And now Wells takes a shot, but is blocked in front by McDonald. And the puck's down into the Rock zone.
One of the fans not happy. The bucket's still on the ice, he says.
And the puck comes in, and it's going to be blocked down by Flageau. And we're going to get another scrum in front of his net, and Flageau's just sitting there being like, boys, can we just get along?
Both teams got to be wary, though, of not getting a frustration penalty, because, you know, I'm sure the Rock are trying to frustrate the Voodoos by going to the net every chance they have. And I think Powassan's going to have to start doing some of that in the Timmins zone when they get it. But certainly there is a level of frustration out there from both sides. A lot of hits in the last few minutes, and game getting very physical right now.
Very physical indeed, like we mentioned, feeling rival-like. Shots on goal 27-15 in favor of the Rock. As there was a helmet on the ice, as we mentioned. And you have to immediately skate off if your helmet comes off. And plays back under action in the Voodoo zone. Poole has the puck on the far side. He skates it in. Tries to get it out of the corner. And the puck's going to go down the length of the ice. Timmins picks it back up. Poole. He's tripped up. Goes down, and we're going to get a penalty call against the Voodoos. And that'll be another penalty here for Powassan.
Oh, they got the initial call. They also got a misconduct for, I believe, for saying the wrong thing. So that won't affect the manpower situation, but there's words right now being expressed.
Yep.
Between one of the Voodoos and and that, trying to figure out what number that is. And he's going to the room right now. You said the wrong thing.
Puck comes in for the Rock. They try to get it around. That looks like Savanac who's going to the room.
Yeah.
Number 23 for the Voodoos, and a shot comes in. Save made by Flageau.
So another power play for Timmins, and sometimes it's not what point you're trying to make to the referee, it's the words that come out of your mouth.
Agreed, yes.
That you say the wrong thing, and the referee reacts to it.
There's a respectful way of going about it, Bob, and then there's the Savanac way of going about it, apparently, in this one. And that'll be Will Bourret, who's in the box for the other penalty. Pigeon tries to dipsy doodle around. A guy gets a shot off. He never hit the net, as the first one hit a body in front, and then he missed the net on his second attempt. Heron. Back out to Pigeon. Pigeon takes the shot. Gets it back out front. Goes Karchik. Gets the puck back out to Pigeon now. Pigeon looks to take the shot and skate around his man again. And they just played the body on that one, and he wasn't able to get an attempt off, as the Rock have to gather the puck in the neutral zone now. Heron with the shot. It hits Wilkie's stick and goes wide of the net, and then Little just knocks it down the ice. 48 seconds left on the penalty. 3 minutes left in the second. O'Brien knocked into Boyven behind the net ever so slightly. Not enough to cause interference as he stopped up. And Risman now takes his man into the boards. And the puck goes back out to the point. And the Rock now take the shot. It goes up and over the net. And back out to the point again. 19 seconds left on the man advantage for Timmins. Trache with the puck. Goes back out to the point, and Poole's going to take the shot from out there. And again, I've been very impressed with the play of Poole in this one. Like we mentioned, only one goal on the season. But he's looked really good in this game, Bob.
Yeah, good penalty kill and a good power play too here. So a good battle, and no real great scoring chances for the Rock here while they've had the man advantage.
Exactly. And that's kind of, the shot hits a stick from the point and goes up and out of play and hits the wall behind the net. That's kind of been, you kind of get to see how well the momentum's maybe shifted to both teams now and not be so strong to both teams, as the Voodoos have had a really good penalty kill, as you mentioned.
Yeah, I think Powassan's getting more of a better idea on how to play the Rock in their own zone than they were earlier in the game.
And we're back to 5-on-5 here, so the power play is officially over. Kelly with the puck. Gets it up to service. And Wilkie now walks in, leaves it for McDonald. McDonald tries to get it back up to Wilkie. And they couldn't get past anybody. Ring tries to dump it in. Couldn't get it past Wilkie, but he gets it up into the back of the Voodoos zone. Voodoos now looking up ice. It's going to hit a skate and go the length of the ice. Kelly trying to beat out the icing, but they say no icing anyways. McDonald and Kelly battle for it in the corner. And Timmins comes away with it once again. Shields plays his man to the boards. Kelly is able to kick it out to the neutral zone. And it's going to be Pettit who played it and gets it up and out. Coming into Flageau, who dives in. He's not afraid to exit his net to make the play on the puck if need be. And then, surprise, surprise, another scrum.
And that was really a situation where the Timmins player was going for the puck, and there was a loose puck, and Flageau dove out from his position, and then there was some pushing and shoving after as the Voodoos show up for their goalie there in that sequence. Still, we got 1:25 left in the period, and in a very tight game, and it's also a very aggressive game in terms of the physical play has really come out in the second period. There was a penalty, so the Voodoos got the penalty for the after the whistle stuff, Courtney, and just I'm sure the Voodoos aren't happy having to kill so many penalties in this game.
Thankfully, it's a 4-on-4 though, as both teams have a penalty against them. We see Heron in the box for Timmins. Good stick there by the Voodoos by Caden Long. Long now with a chance, goes in. He looks to get around a few gentlemen, but he can't as he's taken hard into the boards. And Timmins skates through and gets out and into the Voodoos zone. Little picks it up in his own zone. He, with some speed, gets away from the Timmins player. He skates it in, and he loses the handle on it, unfortunately, for the Voodoos. Last minute now here in the second period as Little takes Pigeon into the boards. and grabs a hold of it, turns around, leaves it for Long. Caden Long coming in, tries to get out front, but Little picks it up instead. Little in the slot, takes the shot, and it goes off the pad of Boyven and into the corner. 37 seconds on the clock. Timmins picking up the puck in their own zone, looking to regroup for the final push here. That's Pekarik sending it off to Cato Frederick. And Timmins going to pick up possession. 20 seconds left on the clock. And the puck's going to go up and over the boards. And we're going to get another stoppage and play. 19.2 left on the clock. 53 seconds left in 4-on-4 hockey.
Yeah, still 2-1 basically in the shots. 21-9-15 for the Rock. But we should have a lively third period in this one as the intensity is continuing to pick up, and an important 16.5 still to go with Timmins up 3-2.
Not that I want to pick and choose about the shot judge or anything, but there was a shot in the Voodoos zone, and they've been at 15 here for a little while.
Well, they heard me go almost 2-1, and now they are 2-1.
Yeah, it should be 16 shots on goal for the Voodoos, though. 16.5 seconds left on the clock. And there was a quick shot off that face-off. And now we're back under action as Risman tries to one-man it out of his zone. And he does get it out of his zone with a one-man effort. 7 seconds left on the clock. That'll basically do it here for the second period. 3 seconds now. And Timmins just going to play keep away in their own zone. And that's it. 40 minutes of hockey down. Timmins leads this one 3-2, so we're basically where we were at the end of the first with a 1-goal deficit to the Powassan Voodoos. And shots on goal, 30-15, as Bob mentioned. Bob?
Yeah, good period for Powassan after falling behind twice by 2 goals. But they battled to get the next goal to keep within 1, and then and that's where they are after 2 periods. There'll be 4-on-4 to start the third, but should be a lively third period here in Powassan.
Should very well be indeed, Bob, and we'll be back as we get to the second intermission here. We'll be back with more third period action here on the Frontline Game Day broadcast.
Average Joe's Eatery and Patio Bar is North Bay's only year-round lakefront restaurant. On the shores of beautiful Trout Lake, we have been serving delicious food and stunning views since 1999. Indulge in one of our delicious menu items, or simply sit with a cocktail in hand and watch the beauty of Trout Lake before your eyes. Check us out online at averagejoes.net or visit us in person at 3501 Trout Lake Road, North Bay.
The Frontline Podcast, Season 3. Courtney Kenny, Matthew Sukram, Derek Lindman, Bob Coles, and Ben Long bring you closer to your favorite teams like never before. Covering everything to do with hockey in the North Bay area, exclusive interviews with the North Bay Battalion staff and players, expert analysis on the OHL, NOJHL, and more, keeping you up to date on all things Voodoos, Trappers, Lakers, and more. It's a new season, it's a new adventure. The Frontline Podcast Season 3. Available wherever you download your favorite podcast.
You rely on your vehicle to take you to the places that matter most to you. So bring your vehicle to the team you can rely on to keep it running at its best. Dave's Automotive Services. Whether you're getting your car or truck ready for the season with a tire change, making sure you're safe on the road with an inspection and certification, or doing your due diligence to keep your vehicle in tip-top shape with regular maintenance, Dave's Automotive Services has you covered. Expert troubleshooting, quality repairs, and time-efficient labor are the 3 stars of service you can expect when you bring your car or truck to Dave's Automotive Services at 411 Airport Road. Call 705-478-5544 and book your appointment today.
Hey there, I'm Mike the Financial Advisor. When you strip it down to its core and you take away all the industry jargon, I help people solve financial concerns. So if you're concerned that you'll never save enough to retire comfortably, or that your kid is going to graduate post-secondary $40,000 in debt, or maybe even that life is going to take a really unfortunate sideways turn and somebody is going to have to open a GoFundMe page for you and your family, I can help you prevent all of those things from happening. If you want to see how, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Just do a search for Mike the Financial Advisor. You should find me.
Meals are a special time for families to gather, share their day, and spend quality time together. Those dinners are made extra special when you add tropical produce found in the markets and grocery stores that carry La Huerta imports. La Huerta knows the importance of family, so they know which quality products make the best quality meals for your customers. Whether it be Mexican Hass avocados, Brazilian figs, Ecuadorian red dragon fruit, or something just as exotic and special. To get your supply of the best tropical produce at competitive prices with brands buyers trust, contact La Huerta Imports at 705-752-1478.
Community engagement is one of our core focuses at McDonald's. The key is finding the right people who are passionate about the same things we are, helping kids be kids. McDonald's proudly supports local organizations such as the North Bay Regional Health Center Foundation, Big Brothers Big Sisters, One Kids Place, the Children's Aid Society, and Ronald McDonald House Charities. Stop by McDonald's on 1500 Fisher Street, North Bay, to see how we can serve you and the community every day. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Average Joe's Eatery. Average Joe's, where we want your experience here to be a happy one. 3501 Trout Lake Road.
And we are here in the Powassan Sportsplex. The first minute of the third period is underway. We had some 4-on-4 hockey, and we're back to 5-on-5. And quickly, we did have an update on the battalion game. It's 3-1 for the troops in the Sioux, and they're back in action again tomorrow night in the Sioux as well. So the battalion looking to close out their first victory here of the season against northern rival, the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds, and well on their way with a 3-1 lead right now with a few minutes left in the third. Minute and a half gone here between the Voodoos and Rock. Rock lead 3-2. And the puck's going to come in and bounce right into Flageau's glove, and he just leaves it out front. Voodoos flip it up and out. And it's a foot race for the puck, one which Timmins wins. Timmins in their own zone looking up ice. And it's going to be Longhurst that gets knocked off of it, and Poole's going to pick it up. Poole with a great burst of speed. Leaves it for Wells, and Wells is tripped down, and surprise, surprise, Bob, another penalty to the Powassan Voodoos.
Well, no choice to call that one.
Agreed.
As it was clearly a trip, and it would have led to possibly a scoring chance if the trip wasn't made. And one thing I'm interested in this third period is, does Timmins continue to dominate the game, holding on to the puck, cycling the puck, trying to get scoring chances in front of the Powassan net, or do the Voodoos give a little pushback and and get more zone time? That'll be really the story of the third period.
Quick shot by Haroon, and that's going to be a quick one. I thought it hit the post and came out, but the referee says goal is allowed. And would you look at that, another power play goal for the Timmins Rock on a suspicious-looking goal.
Well, yeah, no argument from the Voodoos that we're seeing. And this isn't the OHL where you're going to have reviews and HD replays and so forth. Whatever the call is on the ice, that's the call that stands. So, but a very quick start to the power play for the Rock, and they've got that 2-goal lead back, Courtney.
They do, and that's Haroon's 7th of the season in 8 games. His second here this evening. And
that's Haroon's 3rd goal in the game, if it's his 8th of the year.
No, that's his 7th of the year is what I meant to say, my bad.
Sorry.
It's his 2nd here this evening anyways. And Lowe now picks it up. And Timmins once again out there with a 2-goal lead on a penalty that was called on a tripping on Wells. Almost 3 minutes gone. McMillan, he comes in. He tries to take the shot and fans on it. Seems to be the tail of the tape for the Voodoos in this one. Lots of fanned opportunities. And the puck's going to be dumped back in, and we'll have to see if Timmins seizes momentum from that goal or if it's Powassan that responds. Always clawing back to within 1, but never able to tie it up. And the Voodoos just knock it in. Service goes after it. It's quickly back out to the half wall. As Scott levels a hit, but in doing so, Poole's able to go down the ice, and there was a good scoring chance there for the Rock, but they missed the puck. Scott loses the handle on it. Puck goes back down to the Voodoo zone. And Little's going to go after it, and he's going to take his man to the corner, and a scrum ensues. Digging away on the near side corner. Nobody can get the puck out. And it's back out to the blue line, and Services tries to get it out, and it finally does. And Poole takes the shot from outside of the zone. Flageau gets a handle on that one and drops it for his teammates. Service skating up the ice. Lots of unimpressed Voodoos fans here tonight, it sounds like, in attendance. Reinhard tries to get the puck in. Can't get it all the way into the Voodoos zone, and the Voodoos just dump it right back down the ice. And Boyven comes out to play it. Rock regrouping. Smetham, the high man for the Voodoos. The puck's into the Voodoos zone for Heron, the goal scorer on the power play, and it's quickly into Flageau's glove. And we're going to get another stoppage and play. 15:36 left in the third. 4-2 lead for the Timmins Rock.
33-15, the shots for Timmins. Remember, first period, Powassan ended the period short-handed. They got an early penalty in the second, and Timmins scored on a two-man advantage. 4-on-4, the second period ended, and then an early penalty for Powassan, and that led to the fourth goal. So just timely goals early in periods, really the story of this game right now with Timmins up a pair.
Timely goal scoring for sure. And the Voodoos just don't seem to have the legs to be able to pull it within, or to be able to tie. But here comes O'Brien, speaking of legs. Shot on goal by Smetham. Quickly comes back in by Kelly. Or that was Patrick, rather, who was less than impressed with his attempt on that one. Wanted to see if the stick was broken as he just kind of floated one on net. But Boyven with probably his biggest save of the game so far, Bob.
Took the words right out of my mouth. That's his biggest save of the night, no doubt about it. Would have made it a one-goal game again. And that's Powassan's clearly their best shift of this period. And Boyven had to be true to his record. And 2-0, or sorry, 2-2. And he made a great save to keep it a two-goal game.
A little bit of interference in the corner on Timmins as the puck comes out front. And Powassan just can't get it past the wall that is Boyven. Now out into the Voodoo zone. Douglas picks it up. He turns around, tries to jump or knock it up. That's Pekarchik who knocks it back in. Charette on the far side half wall. And the Voodoos get it up as Nygaard had, or Nyman I should say, had some issues trying to keep the puck in as he juggles it. Thies, one of the goal scorers for the Voodoos in this one, gets it up to McMillan. McMillan goes for a skate in his zone. And he carries it up and out. McMillan blows a tire in the Voodoo, or in the offensive zone. And now a bunch of bodies behind the net in the Voodoo zone. The Rock looking to come out with it. And Kelly's going to come away with it instead. Kelly up to Long. Long takes the hit. Shot comes in. It's blocked by some traffic in front. Thies up ice. Can't get it out of his zone. And the shot comes in, and Flageau had to knock that one away quickly with his blocker. Back out. And Kelly now picks it up. He tries to spring his man who's being held up, and we're going to get a penalty against the Timmins Rock, as you can't clearly do that, as they held up a gentleman pretty good, and we're going to bring in Ben Long here.
So just as an update from the North Bay Battalion game, Nikita Tarasevich scores an empty netted goal to put them up one more.
4-1. The Battalion looking to skate away with that one, Bob. We'll see we'll have to see how they do tomorrow night in the Sioux as well.
A good opening night win, and for the first time in a long time, they haven't played the Greyhounds after playing at home the night before, right? That long bus trip, and maybe that gave the Battalion a little energy tonight to open the season on the road.
Yeah, Battalion with a few road games to start this year as a little curling event that Bob might be a little bit excited about. And it comes to North Bay next week and takes over the Gardens. A remarkable work that they do every time. It's a must-see event. head on down to the Gardens, check out the Pinties. Women's Worlds and the Pinties before, as we get a clearing attempt here by the Rock on this Voodoos power play. And remember, they scored their second goal on the power play.
Well, it was the Rock who threw the, right? You mentioned curling, so. Very well done.
So I made a pun without even knowing it. I guess we're going to have to take this one to the house, eh, Bob?
Oh, jeez.
Now we'll sweep that under the carpet.
Oh, please, stop.
Flageau comes out to play the puck. Little leaves it for Long. Long looking for some options as his guys regroup as we're under a minute left on the power play for the Voodoos. Waits for some fresh reinforcements. Risman with some burst of speed through the neutral zone around one guy. Carries it into the corner. Kind of runs out of some room. And leaves it for his teammate. It's Patrick. Skates it up and out. Tries to go cross ice. And it misses intended target. And the puck now back out. On the power play here for the Voodoos, O'Brien, the other goal scorer for Powassan. Taking it hard to the boards, and the puck's going to go back down the ice. Another clearing attempt. And again, I'd love to tell you how much time's left on the power play. I can just tell you there's under a minute left. Risman looks up ice. He skates it around now. Again, just dumps it in. Boyvin blocked that one away as it hits the boards. And the puck comes up and over into the netting. Stoppage of play, but the Flageau's tapping of the stick on the ice indicates to me there's only a few seconds left on the power play.
Well, the goal by Timmins early in this period has really taken some of the flavor out in this game. I thought we'd have a more physical, aggressive type of style here from both teams, but that early goal making it a 4-2 game, and Timmins right now is just grinding out every shift, you know, as they just want to hold on to their lead and not give Powassan a lot of good offensive chances. And they did get a penalty, but again, the Voodoos didn't do much with it.
No, 11:30 now left in the third period. And just a quick note about the Battalion game as well as they wrap up. The Greyhounds, speaking of power plays, were 0 for 7. Was the Battalion were 1 for 4 with the man advantage. So again, that one 4-1 lead right now for the Battalion in the waning seconds. Boyvin plays the puck out, nearly kills his Rock teammate who trips and falls, trying to avoid it. Little up the ice to Scott. And it's back to Little in the neutral zone, who just takes a whack at it and sends it in deep.
That's really Ryan Olahan's calling card, you know, killing penalties. It's a must-do if you're going to make it with a Battalion, killing penalties.
McDonald loses the handle trying to get back into the Rock zone. And Douglas's attempt to dump it in deep doesn't get very far. Charest now, one of the other goal scorers for the Rock. Gets it in, but he loses the handle on it, and Voodoos come away with it. Thies gets it up ice to Long. Long lets it go, and Timmins picks it up in the neutral zone. Timmins has done a great job of just clogging up that blue line. You can't really get anything past them, and when you do, there's a bunch of Rock players there just to be able to take the puck away from you. And kind of demoralizing for the Voodoos as there's 10 minutes left here now in the third period.
Yeah, they've done a good job, really. They're slowing down. They've neutralized their speed that Powassan has.
Again, 2-goal game, 4-2. Goal scored earlier in this period. Rismond leaves it off for Fullerton. Fullerton dumps it down the ice. And Long chases after it as the Rock regroup in their zone, content to burn some more time on the clock. O'Brien comes in to pressure him. And Timmins turns around, and that's Pettit. He tries to get it up ice to Haroun. Haroun scoring 2 here this evening. Chases after it. Now it's quickly out front. And it's going to go down the length of the ice on a clearing attempt by the Voodoos. And it's going to be icing with 9:18 here left in the third period.
And Timmins is quite thankfully just grinding out shifts right now, not trying to give Powassan any chances. And the Voodoos, they've got to start taking some chances, get the puck in the offensive zone, moving guys up, trying to get that third goal.
Yeah, the Voodoos need to go all-out offensive mode, but the Rock have done a great job of playing defensive hockey. Heron dipsy doodles around. One guy gets it out front with a wide open net, but is dumped away from the Voodoos net and out of danger into the Rock zone. Longhurst looks up ice, and it's going to miss Patrick, who tried to get a hold of it, and it's going to be dumped out. And a knee-on-knee collision there by O'Brien, and we're going to get an interference call, so the Voodoos are going to get another chance on the power play. Maybe they can do something with it on this one, Bob.
That was a needless penalty. The other one previously was too. There was another Timmins player back, but they still hauled him down. But that time, there were good defenders in good position for the Rock, and really a needless interference penalty. But the Voodoos will take it, and a chance on the power play here to narrow the gap to 1.
And it's official from the Sioux. 4-1 victory for the Battalion. Shots on goal 38 for the Troops, 23 for the Greyhounds, as the puck is dumped down into the Voodoos zone to start this power play. Little plays pitch and catch, and then he dumps it in for Service to chase after it. He leaves it for Shields. Shields gets it back to Little, who goes cross ice. Wilkie goes cross ice for Service, who had a wide open net. Little with the attempt, it's blocked. Wilkie goes after it. He takes a bit of a high stick. No call on that one, so we're even on the missed high stick calls between the two teams. Wilkie now skating around. They had a good chance to score there, and they did as well on that one, with Shields keeping it in. Is dubbed not offside. A lot of Rock players don't like that call. As the puck goes back to the blue line and the Voodoos keep it in. Shields skating around with it. He loses the handle, and then the Rock knock it out anyways, so no harm, no foul. We're under a minute on the power play opportunity for Powassan. 7:42 left in the third. This has probably been the most lethal-looking Voodoos power play opportunity as well. He skates it in. He's tripped up. No call as well, as it was the puck that they were going for. Rismond tells Flageau to leave it. A Sudbury product looks up ice. He'll be heading home next week for the NOJHL showcase. Long back to the point. Thies can't hold it in. That's pretty close to the end of this power play opportunity now. And Long goes cross ice to Thies, who goes back to Long. Long skates up ice to the urging of his coaches and teammates. He skates around a Rock defender. And that's about going to do it on this power play. As Risman now at the point. He gives it back to Long. Long goes cross ice to Thies. Thies walks in, takes the shot, and Thies gets his second of the game. It gives Powassan life once again. It's 4-3 here in the waning minutes with 6:48 left in the third period. Mr. Bob Coles.
Not a power play goal, Courtney, but the power play certainly helped. As you said, it was their best power play maybe of the game. And Thies, he's been the golden boy for the Voodoos. His second goal of the game, his first two of the season, and he's given the Voodoos a chance despite being outshot 33-19. They're only down 1. There's lots of time left, 6:48. A huge goal for Powassan, and this crowd will be behind them down the stretch here.
Again, another one-goal game here. As you mentioned, Thies scoring two goals tonight, his first 2 of the season. McMillan loses the handle on it at the blue line as Long comes back out, and Shields just dumps it down. Long chases after it. Now, these guys were basically out there for most of that power play, so we'll have to see how gassed they are. Wilkie goes cross ice to his defense partner Little, but it's just a little bit too far out of his reach. Little takes a man into the boards. It's tipped in front by Wells, but it goes away from the net, so no harm, no foul. And now the Voodoos with some legs under them. McMillan tries to take a no-look pass into the center of the ice, and he can't get to his intended target. And now Scott's going to have to chase after it, but it's going to be Nyman who plays the puck back. Voodoos keep it in. Scott turns around. He looks up front. He takes the shot. It hits the side of the net. Lots of fans were ready to cheer for that one as they saw the netting go, but all it did was hit the side of the net as Fullerton takes a shot from the point. And that's a problem with hockey sometimes. It can be a deceptive looking shot on that one as we're going to reach our mid-period timeout. We'll hear Bob's comments on the other side of these quick messages.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Average Joe's Eatery. Average Joe's, where we want your experience here to be a happy one. 3501 Trout Lake Road.
The big sequence here for the play in the last 3 or 4 minutes, this is the type of action I expected all period long. We didn't get it because of that early Timmins goal to make it 4-2. But from the power play on, the Voodoos have found a little something in their step, and they get that third goal and make it a 1-goal game. And now, we're seeing more physical play. Both teams are being very aggressive. Timmins has gone out of their shell now because they know they may need another goal to clinch it, and Powassan will be desperately trying to tie it down. 5:37 left, so really surprising that I thought we'd see this kind of hockey for the whole period, but just in the last few minutes, Courtney, it's going to be a great finish here.
It has all the makings of being a great finish for sure. As the Voodoos get Little back out there, who's the engine that keeps them going. He tries to take an intentionally wide shot to get the puck to bounce out front, and they almost did it. And now Pigeon's going to be off to the races, sorry. Pigeon gets it in deep, and there's a bit of a scrum that ensues in the corner. Ring loses the puck, and they're able to get the puck out to the point, but no further. Ring with the handle on it behind the net. He's taken down. Smetham gets the puck up. And it's going to be McDonald who comes in. McDonald with the pass in front, and they can't get it. McDonald takes a shot in, hits the side of the net. Sounds like it hits the post, but it was the bottom of the netting. And the puck comes out to Thies, who scored 2 of Powassan's 3 goals here this evening. Puck bounces in. Boyvin plays it off. Pettit tries to get it around. And Thies now picks it up in the neutral zone and dumps it back in. Boyvin tries to slow it up with the paddle of his stick. And Pettit just passes it around to his D partner. The Voodoos get the puck in their own zone. And they go for a bit of a skate. Risman skates around the blue line. He does a little bit of a move. He gets the puck kind of almost got stuck up on his teammate at the blue line. And now it's Thies who has to go and get it with Poole chasing hot on his heels. Risman up to Service. Service didn't get a handle on it as it's blocked out and taken by Timmins. Now here, a little bit of a scrum here in the neutral zone. Kelly tries to stick handle away, but is knocked back into the Voodoos zone for Thies. Puck is tipped in and dumped down to Boyvin. 3:49 here left on the third. We're going to have to keep an eye on Flageau for you as well, as the waning seconds of the period come on, and you have to think the Voodoos will pull the goalie if they don't tie it up here soon.
Well, Patrick Boyvin's been, not wanting to hold on to the puck very often. He plays it right away, but that time he did hold on to the puck, knowing the situation of the game, a 1-goal game, and every possession is going to be so important here down the stretch.
It is for sure. As Wilkie goes back to get the possession of the puck, as you said, Bob. And now it's Long through the neutral zone. He dumps it in, and it's going to go behind his net. Long picks it back up, and he skates around. Looking around for an option, as there's a bit of a pinch there by Wilkie. And the Voodoos now are on every Rock player quickly to try and get the puck back. Almost 3 minutes left in the third. And now it's going to be Wells who turns around and skates through the neutral zone and dumps it in cross ice. Puck takes a weird bounce and almost comes out front. Little avoids a check, falling to the ice. 3 minutes now left in the third. McMillan skates through. He takes the shot and hits the post and up and out of play and over the netting. It's rare that the fans get a souvenir here at the Sportsplex with the netting all around, but official Powassan Voodoos game puck coming out for them there.
How close is this game? I mean, the 4th Timmins goal, we thought it hit the post, but they ruled it was a good goal. And then this play, in which looks like Powassan might tie it, hits the post, not ruled a goal, and that's the difference in the game. It's just the luck of the iron, as they say in hockey, and it's on Timmins' side right now.
Goalie's best friend or a goalie's worst friend. And of course, we do have the 3 stars of the game coming up after this one. And they're going to dump it up and out into the neutral zone. As Pigeon goes after it, O'Brien overskates it. Haroon picks it up. You'd have to think he's one of the stars because he scored 2 goals for the Rock. And Thies as well has scored 2 for the Voodoos. Shots 33-22, 2:35 left in the third period. And Smetham now comes up with it. We're going to have to watch Flageau as the clock ticks down. 2.5 minutes left. And the Rock get the possession of it out to the neutral zone. Risman lines up ring for a hit, but it comes in as Frederick tries to get one off. Frederick now taken into the boards. And the puck is left there for Service. Service looking up ice, 2:09 left. Flageau looking back at the clock, looking at the bench. And the puck's in deep. And Boyven plays it. Bit of a scrum there. Under 2 minutes now left in the third. And the Voodoos looking for some options. Kelly trying to gain possession of it. Still stuck there with Service and Kelly looking after the puck. Flageau almost coming out of his net, but thinks better of it as the Rock come out with possession through the neutral zone. And the puck's dumped in deep to the Voodoo zone. Wilkie looks up ice and instead just plays at the half wall. Left for Little, 1.5 now. And Little's not going to come off the ice, I would imagine, at this point. Boyven stops that one, and Flageau is officially off for an extra attacker here for Powassan as we get some extracurricular activity down in the Rock zone with 1:24 left here in the third.
Yeah, if you're just joining us, it was 1-0 Timmins after 1, 3-2 after 2. Each team has scored a goal in the third. The shots are 31-16 for Timmins, 12-8 in the first, 18-7 in the third. And timeout right now. Justin Charette opened the scoring for Timmins. And then Brady Haroon's first. And then Connor O'Brien, well, we're just checking some of these stats still. Haroon got his second. Sean Thies with a goal. And Brady Haroon, they've credited with 3 goals for him, but on the stat board here, Sean Thies has 2 for Powassan.
Well, then Haroon does have 8 goals in 8 games.
So you were right.
I was. With my mistake, I was right. Out-of-town scoreboard quickly. The Hearst Lumberjacks finished that game up 2-1 over the Cochrane Crunch and the Elliott Lake Red Wings and Sioux Eagles. That game is postponed due to an issue with the ice plant in Sioux, Michigan. 1:24 left here. The Voodoos have 6 attackers on the ice. And Shields that gets the puck out. O'Brien goes cross ice looking for Little. Little was all alone. And the puck just went right through his stick. Shields going after the puck. Puck comes out to the neutral zone with 1 minute left here in the third. Long plays pitch and catch with Little. Back to Long. Long leaves it back for Little. Little goes for a bit of a skate. 54 seconds left.
Yeah, wasting a lot of time right now.
As a terrible pass now through Little's skates is left for Long. 44 seconds now left on the clock. Long putting on some speed. Dumps it down into the Rock zone. Boyven comes out to play it. He's going to rim it around. It's going to be stopped at the blue line for Thies. And it's going to be knocked out by the Rock. We're just going to take an attempt here. And then a good stick check gets it away. 27 seconds left on the clock. Voodoo's really wasting time here as the puck goes down the ice, and that's going to do it for the Rock as they're going to get an empty netter here. And Timmins is going to basically put that one away. 5-3 hockey game now on the empty net goal, 20 seconds left.
Now, you never like to see the home team lose, but if they do, I always look forward to Courtney ripping up his papers.
Every single time.
It's classic. We gotta film that next time. We gotta film that, boys.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the league. Doesn't matter the level. If it's the home team, the Voodoos, the battalion, U18 Trappers, I'm going to rip up my papers at the end of the game. Savanac taken down. No call. Another big hit.
Yeah, this game ends here, Gordon. A couple of hits.
8 seconds left. And we're going to get, again, the 3 stars of the game here after this one. We'll have to see as there's a big Timmins Rock sandwich.
And we may have a little action on 2 different locations here.
Yeah, a couple of actions here. And the Timmins Rock are going to skate away with a 5-3 victory. Final shots on goal, 33-22. The Voodoos did make a game of it there late in the third period, but not enough. And the Timmins Rock skate out to a victory here and come out and celebrate with their teammates out on the ice, Bob.
No bus legs for the Timmins Rock tonight. They emerged with a 1-goal lead after one and came through with 2 early goals in periods, 1 early in the second on a 2-man advantage. That made it 2-0. Powassan did narrow it to 3-2, but then again in the third, another early goal. That made it 4-2. Powassan again got within 1 on not a power play goal, but at the end of just after a power play had expired, and then the empty netter. So the Rock were the better team tonight. They deserve the 2 points. They get them, and North Base or Powassan's 2-game winning streak is done, and Timmins has ended their 3-game winless streak with a 5-3 win here in Powassan tonight.
Yeah, we're just waiting for the announcement of the 3 stars so we can let you know who it is and what's going on. You have to think that Haroon is one of the stars. You have to think that Thies is one of the others. And if I was a betting man, I don't know if Boyven deserves a star with only 22 shots against and 19 saves. But we'll have to see what happens here.
No, I agree with you on Haroon. He was outstanding. Here they are.
Number 77,
Nicholas Frederick.
Second star from your Powassan Voodoos, number 7, Connor O'Brien.
Okay. Not the guy who scored 2 goals. That was Connor O'Brien, who was the second star.
Timmins Rock, number 12, Brady Haroon.
Brady Haroon does get the first star, so I don't know. You get 2 goals. Shouldn't you got a star?
And right at the end of the game, folks, we did have a
Tonight's 3 Stars is brought to you by Dave's Automotive Services, 411 Airport Road in North Bay. Expert troubleshooting, quality repairs, and time-efficient labor are the 3 stars of service you can expect from Dave's.
Again, the 3 stars. The third star of the game, Nicholas Frederick, picking up the 3rd star. Second star for the Voodoos. I'm going to say Sean Thies for scoring 2 goals, but officially it's going to go down as Connor O'Brien for Powassan. And number 1 is Brady Haroon. And speaking of Connor O'Brien, at the end, a game misconduct was leveled to him at the 20-minute mark for some after-curricular activities, Bob.
Sort of like you and Derek when you go out for a bite to eat after a big win, right?
It's Derek that puts away the wings remarkably. I don't understand how he's only as big as he is when he'll brag to us in our group chat afterwards. Yeah, I had like 40 wings this week. Okay there, Derek, whatever. Hey, we're going to get to the wing show now instead of the Powassan Voodoos Frontline Game Day broadcast. But we're going to wrap it up for this one. The Powassan Voodoos, the final from the Sportsplex, 5-3 for the Timmins Rock. Again, huge thank you to Ben Long, our producer, Mike Brown with the camera work, Bob Coles for joining me for this one. I'm Courtney Kenny, and Bob does have one more thought.
Just a reminder about the NOJHL Showcase Tuesday and Wednesday in Sudbury. We'll have some of our guys up there for that, describing all the action. Courtney and Ben and Matt and lots of fun. The NOJHL is putting it on, and you can catch all the games right here.
Yeah, looking forward to heading off to Sudbury, and it'll be great. Just keep your eye on the Frontline YouTube and, of course, Hockey TV as well, and we'll be there bringing you all the action like Bob mentioned. As my former co-host on the podcast, Don Parisi, used to say, it's been a lot of fun, except for maybe the fact that Timmins won. Let's do it again sometime.